Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
Oh my goodness, what a night last night at UFC 306, aka the Sphere. It went down. The experience was incredible. And it was incredible just watching it on TV, right? Could imagine what it would have been like being there in person. Unbelievable. The graphics in the background were just incredible. The UFC did a fantastic job. Dana White spoke about this after the fact. When in the post-fight press conference, he's talking about the Sphere experience and all the work and the millions of dollars that went into the production, and it went off seamlessly, as he put it. He had 16,000 fans in attendance last night, 22 million, highest gross UFC event, highest at the Sphere, obviously, and man, it was unbelievable. Dana White asked if this is the future of sports, and he says he hopes so. And when you watch it, it should be. When you watch it, it should be. And when you go from like 22,000 seats down to 16,000, the prices just go up. So 16,000 seats, 22 million, you're looking at almost, $1,400 a seat on average? The less seats there are, not too low, but the less seats there are, the more the value of each ticket. And then all of a sudden you have a supply and demand thing raging, and people are paying enormous amounts of money to get in, especially when it's a one and done. The UFC's got a contract with MGM, so this won't likely happen ever again, but it could change the landscape of how professional sports is done. Right? With all the graphics and just the entertainment that the UFC put on last night was incredible. And thank goodness, because we finished the night with 6 straight decisions, 5 decisions in the main card, not one finish. And yeah, it dragged on until 2 in the morning, but I don't think anybody cares. It was more about the experience inside. It would have been even better if somebody would got finished, but you still had some great fights on this card. Make no mistake about it. And, we're going to talk about this card from the ground up because there were not a lot of finishes last night to talk about, right? There was a couple, but the main thing is just today we want to get through the card, break this thing down, and it started out with Raul Rosas Jr., the 19-year-old phenom. He got the decision over Aori Kalang and looked good and had to do what he did in round 3, utilizing the takedowns to ground out a victory, and we saw this throughout the night from multiple fighters. But Raul Rosas Jr. moves to 10-1, and he's just going to keep getting better. Then you had Edgar Chairez and Joshua Van go to a decision. Van came in on shorter notice, got the win there. Yasmin Uregui and Ketlin Souza. This was a great fight that actually led to a dramatic finish. Let's get into it. I believe we got this pulled up. Let's get into it right now. So both Uregui and Souza being warned now as we get back to action. So both with a low blow. Now we come back together. Big right by Yasmin. Oh, big left by Souza. Oh, now she takes the back. It's going to be over, man. She's got this locked in. It's only a matter of time. And I don't think she's going to tap in Mexico. The Mexican isn't going to tap. Yeah, it's over. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's it. It's over. Holy cow. Ketlin Souza in a massive exchange misses on the right and lands on the left and then takes the back, and that's it. The Brazilian. And listen, you guys listen to the predictions. This is why I tell you when fights are close, I go with the Brazilian, and when I don't, I pay for it, and I paid for it tonight. Yasmin Uregui coming in at 11-1 and just got caught. Ketlin Souza moves to 15-4 here in a massive victory that really is going to ignite the crowd now. A huge left hand to finish the fight. Unbelievable. Here's a replay. Bing, bing, woo! And jumps the back very quickly, even in slow motion. Bing! Oh, my goodness. Perfect. And now we're on at the Sphere. This thing is live. Women's strawweight division. UFC 306. Yeah, just a great job there by Souza. That ruined the perfect night early in the night. As we fell to 2-1 after that one. So we jumped out to a 2-0 start, lost that one. And then things got very tricky from that point on. Because you had Manuel Torres and Ignacio Bahamondes put on a decent fight for the first round. But then this thing even came to a dramatic finish. Check it out. So we have back-to-back finishes, and that will be it. All right, Torres. All right. Looking rough a few seconds ago. We're starting to pick up the pace again. Bahamondes, no doubt, has looked good. Here in the first round. Oh, big right by Bahamondes. Now he's pounding away. Torres is covering up, and that's it. Back-to-back fights. The Mexican fighters go down. And so do our picks. Back to 2-2. Unfortunately, Bahamondes with a big finish, and these guys hug it out. He's going to move to 16-5. Dang it. Torres falls to 15-3. He has overwhelmed him, landed the big right. Torres goes down, then just overwhelms him, and that's it. 4 minutes, 2 seconds into round one. Lightweight division never lets down. I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible win for Bahamondes, lightweight division, UFC 306. Yeah, so I mean, we fell on that one for sure. So now we're down to 2-2, 4 fights in. Then in the prelim final, you had Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Dumont got that one. She moves to 12-2 by decision. Many people believe that fight should have been stopped. Aldana had to go to the hospital following the fight. But again, in this fight, we paid for it. We went against a Brazilian and we paid for it all night long. This was the storyline. As we jump into the main card, and this is when all the graphics start. You didn't see many graphics in the prelims at all. Get to the main card, boom, there it goes. And then you're like, oh, okay, now I understand. And Ronaldo Rodriguez jumped off, let the jump off in the main card by getting a decision win to move to 17-2. So after 3 straight losses, we bounced back there. We're at 3-3. Then Zellhuber and Ribovic ended up being the fight of the night. Why not, right? It's the lightweight division. I mean, you know it's going to be a banger. Zellhuber fell to 15-2. Ribovic got the split decision victory. He moves to 14-1. And you look at head strikes, 103 to 83 for him. Significant strikes, 156 to 121. So just a great fight there. Then Brian Ortega looked terrible in fight 3. Diego Lopez absolutely dominated. This was 3 versus 12. And Diego Lopez is going to be in the top 5. Another situation where the Brazilian won. If we just go with what we're used to, we probably get 2 out of 3 of these instead of losing all 3. But, that's why in the predictions I tell you, if I'm not 100% sure either way, I go with the Brazilian. Usually pays off. Then in the women's flyweight division, for the title, Valentina Shevchenko versus Grasso, the trilogy, and people weren't happy with the way this fight played out. But this is exactly what I was hoping for in terms of our prediction. Let's get into it right now. Listen, 16 minutes of control in 25 minutes. 8 of 12 on takedowns, 39 to 7 in head strikes, 44 to 18 in significant strikes, 197 to 124 in total strikes. She just absolutely took Alexa Grasso out of this fight. And for the first time since how many years ago? Think about this. How many years ago since the last time Valentina Shevchenko was heard and new, right? Think about it. How many years has it been since the last time she's heard and new? Give it to him.
And new.
Yeah, give it to him.
And new.
Can we slow it down? Let me see if I can slow it down a little bit. No, that's speeding it up. See, it's been a while since we missed it.
And new.
All right, here we go. Here we go. It's unanimous. It's unanimous. Let's go. And new. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. I don't care what nobody says. This was a boring fight. She held her down. I don't care. I don't care. I love it. Yes, sir. Okay, Shevchenko, back on top. Back on top. So she gets the win. She's going to move, what is it, 24-4. New women's flyweight champion. She deserves it. Very excited that she's back on top after winning this co-main event, women's flyweight division. She's probably going to cry here at UFC 306. Yeah, so Shevchenko, excuse me, gets the belt back. And this is what it turned into last night. I mean, the rise of the contenders.
And new.
That's right. That's right.
And new.
That's what you heard in the Sphere last night. But Shevchenko gets the belt back. I can't even explain how excited I am that she did. Like I said there, I don't care how she got it back. I wanted her to get it back. And because she's a legend, and you don't want her to go out like that. And sometimes legends got to do what they got to do to win, even if you don't like it. The bottom line is her picture's back on top of the UFC with the belt strapped around her shoulder. So that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And then you had O'Malley versus Dvalishvili, and this is just a terrible performance by O'Malley, or a really good performance by Dvalishvili. But he just took the wind and sails out of it for O'Malley last night. Here's the reaction. But Merab was definitely talking there the last 90 seconds. And he puts on the big wig and he's ready. Joe Rogan already ready to talk to him. Joe Rogan knows what's happening. Just give it to him. It's obvious. 49-46. 48-47. 48-47. Unanimous decision. And no. Rob sort of couldn't believe that. Two judges, 48-47. And now Merab is breaking down a little bit. So I think all the tension is gone because now he got the belt on his waist. And he's going crazy on his knees. And you realize in that moment, okay, I just accomplished the highest level. And then he hugs Aljamain and the coaching staff and things like that. And now the love is coming in. That's what I wanted to see. That's usually what happens. That's what should happen. So Joe Rogan talking to Merab Dvalishvili, but that's the way it goes, man. I had a bad feeling this could be the possibility. We go 5-5 on the night, lose the main event, but listen, still a great night at the Sphere. Great night at the Sphere. Merab Dvalishvili is a new bantamweight champion here at UFC 306. Yeah, so that was the end of the night, man. That's 2:30 in the morning. The voice is going, getting tired, and had to watch 2 straight fights of just ground control time. So that'll put you to sleep every time. And that was my fear going in really to both of these fights. I mean, I wanted Shevchenko to win. That way she did. I wanted O'Malley to defend the takedowns with the striking and get the win. He didn't. And that's the way it goes. So let's get some things pulled up. Got the do list there. We're going to come right back to that for sure. But this is what it looked like last night. 5-5 on the night. Won the first 2, lost 3 in a row. That set us back. Then won 2 in a row. We're at 4-3 going into the live watch party. Ortega and O'Malley fall. Shevchenko wins. We're 5-5. Down to 18-13 in the main event. But we'll still take that. 228 and 147 overall. So, solid night there. In terms of it, well, not a solid night, terrible night, but solid in terms of we didn't lose anything. Would have loved to at least go 6-4 in this big pay-per-view event at the Sphere, but it didn't happen. Now, as far as the do list is concerned, you got Hamzat Chimaev still 1, John Jones, who we should have colored up there, he's back against Stipe. I think that's in, what, November, December they announced. Alex Pineda 3. He's fighting soon at the next main event. Islam. Shavkat jumps to 5 as Sean O'Malley falls. Dreykus up to 6. Max and Topuri up to 7 and 8. And Merab debuts in the top 10. Got her at number 9. He's got to defend the belt a few times to get into the top 5. And then Sean Strickland still sitting there at 10. So big one, 6 versus 10 with Duplessis and Strickland coming up soon. And O'Malley, you see there, drops to number 12. So that's kind of the way it goes. You know, O'Malley dropped from 5 to 12. That's a major drop off in the dude list, but that's the way it goes. Charles Oliveira going to be fighting, I think, did they say Michael Chandler, I believe? He's number 18. We still believe he can get into the top 10 with a few wins, but we got to see what's up. But that's where we're at with the dude list. A couple more things from Dana White before we get out of here. This isn't a post-fight press conference. Baja and Souza, performance bonus. Sale Huber and Ribovic, the split decision was the fight of the night. Dana White, is this the future of sport, what the future of sports look like in terms of the sphere? And yeah, he says he hopes so, right? Then they get into boxing, and you know, again, I grew up a big boxing fan, but what happened to boxing? Dana White says in 30 years, the only thing that changed in boxing is HD. Meaning they didn't advance, right? The UFC is trying to advance every year. How do you beat 2023? Well, it's happening in 2024. How do you beat 2024? Dana White says we'll see in 2025, but that's the goal. We should be stepping over Emmys at the office after this one. He says guys are asking him to do 4th of July special now. So now Dana White's the history buff, right? The Mexican independence. Now we'll see about 4th of July. All these things are coming into play. But Dana White's trying to build Mexico in the world of MMA. He's trying to draw them in, and it's working. Also, boxers showed up at the Sphere instead of boxing, even though they were going head-to-head across the street from one another. And the biggest thing I took from the post-fight press conference, oddly enough, was that Dana White says, you know, when we're always trying to beat the previous year, we're looking and taking opportunities like the Sphere. And going back a few months ago with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, which Dana White said was legit. That fight was legit, and he was jumping on it. And although it didn't happen, it very well could have, if both guys would have signed on. They were looking at doing this at the Coliseum. I mean, it's crazy. And you want to talk about busting through the record amount of views? Forget Sean O'Malley or John Jones or Alex Pineda or even Conor McGregor. If Elon and Zuck fight, 2 billionaires, everybody wants to see that. And Dana White said it was legit. I mean, it almost looked like it would happen. But that's what the UFC does when trying to upgrade year over year. You're looking for promising opportunities, once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that you can sprinkle in like the Sphere last night. So, yeah, man, again, just a great night, an incredible night for UFC fans. And looking in the chat room, got Chad Hero in there saying, and new champion, baby. So glad I switched my pick. You know, glad Sean O'Malley got dominated, yeah. And he did get dominated last night. Absolutely dominated. But that's the way things went down. Great night for the UFC. Great night for the Sphere. And great night, really, overall for the world of MMA with Ryan Garcia fighting across the street. Big night in boxing. Boxing doesn't have too many big nights anymore. So it was good for them to have one. But listen, who knows how it played out last night? Dana White said they dominated in viewers. We'll see. In so many words, right? I mean, just not even viewers, just dominated compared to Ryan Garcia's boxing fight. So even if they didn't, the next 40 nights they'll dominate. Next 40 Saturdays, because UFC is like a machine. It just keeps rolling. But listen, that's it. UFC 306 is a wrap. On to UFC 307. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Roundtree gets a big opportunity, and we'll be here to break that down as we get closer. So stay tuned. For now, this is your boy Chris Cross. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. As always, peace.